Hello, everyone. We are back with Saint Germain in Chapter 10 of Code Realize Seeker, and we left off where Saint Germain was strangling Cardia because she removed the dagger from Saint Germain that he was going to kill her with, and he's like, "You want to try me?" And so he resorted to strangling her, he was giving off, even though he was giving off indications that he doesn't want to. I really was going to continue reading this when I stopped recording yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I don't remember anymore, but actually maybe it wasn't yesterday. No, yeah, it was yesterday. I stopped. I got it edited yesterday around 11 or 12, and I was going to keep recording because I wanted to know. I wanted to know how it ends, even though I've already read this before, but I don't quite remember. But I was like, it could be like a 2 hour video, and that would put me at 2 o'clock, and then I'd be really tired. But then I stayed up till 3 o'clock playing Baldur's Gate anyway, so it really wouldn't have mattered. This recording may get cut off in the middle. You guys might not notice it, but I don't think I. I'm recording to bypass some time while my husband returns from getting my daughter, and we're going to go out to eat tonight. So I may sound a little bit different halfway through the video, but hopefully not. Hopefully you guys don't notice. Anyway. Oh, is it morning? I guess it's morning. I guess he left her after she passed out. I slowly raise my eyelids and see a familiar ceiling. A familiar ceiling. It's familiar but not familiar. Soft light comes through the open window. Is it morning now? A familiar room, familiar furniture, and a comfortable bed that's been specially outfitted for my body. Yes, this is my room. Or is she in a dream? My room? How could I be waking up in a place like this when I'm supposed to be dead? Maybe this is what being a ghost is like. No, maybe all of that, including my death, was just a dream. If it was a dream, that would be. No, it's not a dream. Your neck hurt. Trying to speak causes my throat to hurt and I furrow my brow. It wasn't a dream. I'm not fully awake yet, but reality hits as I begin to feel sensations in my recently strangled neck. So, even though this mansion was crafted in the same likeness as his other mansion, she wasn't around then. So how would she have poison proof bedding? Because that was the thing that Victor did after she arrived. Hmm. Maybe he thought of this ahead of time. He's been planning to kidnap her all along. The sad smile Saint Germain had worn as he attacked me gradually comes to mind. At the time, he had looked like he was in much more pain than I was, even though I was the one being strangled. I slowly sit up. Aside from my throat, nothing else hurts. I wonder what Saint Germain is doing. Why did he decide to not go through with killing me at the last moment? Saint Germain. Even after everything that's happened, I strangely feel a hatred towards him. If I remain here, I'm sure that I'll be killed. Even that fact seems unreal to me. Yep, you're already working your way into his heart. He doesn't want to kill you. I stand up calmly, knowing that I should be feeling a pressing need to escape. I check the window just in case to see if there is a way out of the room. It doesn't open. I try the door next. I think he does lock her in. Yeah, it doesn't open either, as much as I expected. He's not gonna let you just run away. He wants to keep you here, even though it seems a little bit forceful. Well, I can melt the keyhole with my poison. I begin to pull off my gloves, but stop. There is no way that Saint Germain would have forgotten about my poison. I'm sure he'd have done something to the room to keep me from melting my way out. And even if the poison did work and I was able to find my way out, could I simply run off? I lower my head, feeling that if I ran from Saint Germain now, I would never see him again. It's quite the predicament you're in. Coming up with a way out and escaping from the mansion would be the most logical thing to do, but I suddenly hear a knock at the door. Did he bring you tea and snacks? Saint Germain. I hastily put my gloves back on and turn towards the door. I'm definitely frightened, but my desire to hear his side of the story outweighs my fear. Come in. When I call out to whoever is beyond the door, I notice that the pain in my neck is subsiding. The door opens. Why does he get villain music when he comes in? It's like he's still on the killing her side versus not killing her side. As expected, Saint Germain enters.
もう目を覚ましていたのですね。逃げる手段でも探っていましたか？
Yes.
なるほど。そうでしたか。しかし、この部屋からは出られませんよ。
You should have just said no.
あなたの毒を使ったとしてもね。
Because, yeah, you were thinking it, but you're like, I don't want to go. So you just should have told him that. It's almost as if he's reading my mind. How did you poison-proof it?
フランが糸口を作ってくれましたから。あとはただ、その技術を応用したまでです。
Well, how convenient, because in Victor's route, he doesn't come up with that until the very end. How convenient that he just happens to have it at the beginning of your route. It sounds like you've been preparing for this for a while. The birdsong outside feels far too peaceful for the situation. A gentle light illuminates the floating dust, creating slanted bars of light. He just smiles. I have no idea what he's thinking beneath that smile of his. I probably never once truly come close to understanding how he really feels. He's always kept the rest of us at a distance. I was the only one who hadn't realized this and had foolishly thought that we'd grown close.
先ほどから見つめてくるばかりですね。何か言いたいことがあるのでは？
There is a great deal I want to say to you and questions I want to ask you. Saint Germain's gentle words encouraged me to come out and say this. What happened last night? That was...
体が覚えているでしょ？
Well, that's a odd way of phrasing it, but okay.
私は明確な意志を持ってあなたを殺そうとしました。それは夢でも間違いでもありません。
The way he said it, my first thoughts was, it sounded like you violated her while she was asleep. So you really tried to murder me?
ええ、その通りです。
He's like, well, yeah. Why? You've been protecting me all this time, so why now? I've been through so many life-threatening situations. The only reason why I was able to get through them all was because I had the help of everyone who had been with me. It was all thanks to Lupin, Impy, Victor, Van Helsing, and to Saint Germain. Had I been alone, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it this far. I clench my fists and tremble as Saint Germain looks out the window, his voice soft.
本当にどうしてでしょうね。どうしてあなたがあなたなのか。
Why did his mission have to be you, the person who he's growing attached to? What? Saint Germain smiles self-derisively and sighs quietly. His voice and expression are calm and peaceful, as if he's given up on something.
事情は言えませんが、あなたを殺さなければいけないことだけは確かです。昨夜は仕留め損ねましたが、次の機会には確実にあなたを殺すことにいたしましょう。
Isn't any opportunity like the next opportunity, because it's not like she can put up very much of a resistance. Also, with how skillfully you can handle Twilight members, a little girl or a girl shouldn't be much of a problem for you. Why not right now? I know exactly, see?
あなたには苦しんでほしくない。だからこそ、昨夜もあの毒を使ったのです。
Well, that's very nice of you. So basically, watch out for the next poisoning. Don't eat the food or drink the water.
あの毒は強力ではありますが、調合した後は短時間で効果を失ってしまう。調合自体も複雑で手間がかかる。
Saint Germain gives me a scholarly lecture on the properties of the drug he used on me. All this, combined with the serene scenery of the room, it all feels so surreal.
ですので、 喜んでください。調合が終わるまで今しばらく。そう、明日の深夜まで約2日の間は無事でいられることを保証しましょう。
This is also strange. Explaining your poison of choice to the person you've tried to murder, I can't tell if you're trying to be considerate or terrifying. The more I listen to you, the more you confuse me. Until recently, I thought I understood you at least a little.
もともと人の思いというものは一方通行になりがちなものです。自分を殺そうとする者の思考など理解する必要はありませんよ。私を信じる必要もありません。
But I want to trust you. Because you're a friend, someone who has been by my side all this time. Saint Germain's eyes widen slightly in surprise. His astonishment doesn't seem feigned at all.
私をまだ仲間だとそう思っているのですか？
Yes.
自分を殺そうとしているのに、あれだけのことをされたというのに。
Even so, I can't see you as a complete enemy. I still feel like you have a reason for this and that we'd be able to talk and come to an understanding.
不思議な人ですね、あなたは。
He says this with a tinge of sadness.
もっと別の形であなたと会いたかった。今では本気でそう思います。
Oh, it makes me sad because I know he likes her.
そうすればきっと私はこんな気持ちなど抱かずに済んでいたでしょうから。
He slowly trails off as if having trouble choosing the right words. Eventually, Saint Germain resumes in a small voice as if he's trying to run away from his thoughts.
また後ほど。
He's just gonna lock you up for the next 2 days. The Count leaves the room, and I hear the door lock behind him, leaving me alone. I can live until tomorrow at midnight. This death sentence seems so unreal. I hear birds chirping outside the window, and clouds slowly drift across the sky. Gentle light filters into the room, creating shadows. Everything I see feels like a celebration of a peaceful, ordinary day. I feel like I'm trapped in some kind of dream. I sit in a daze, allowing a few hours to pass. My mind is going around and around in circles, only stopping when someone knocks lightly at the door. Please come in. Saint Germain enters once again. He's pushing a silver cart carrying a steaming bowl of soup and a plate with some bread rolls. You made me food?
ええ、そろそろ昼食時かと思いまして。ご迷惑でしたか？
I guess since he told you when the poison would be ready, maybe you can eat. Probably. You're not bothering me, but you're going to the trouble of feeding someone that you're going to kill?
以前話した通りですよ。私はあなたの苦しむ姿が見たいわけではないのですから。あなたが最後の時までまだ時間はある。どうせならその時まで変わらぬままでいてほしい。そんな私の自己満足です。
Before your departure, like she's going on an airplane. You're always so kind.
それこそ自分を殺そうとしている相手にかける言葉ではないのでは？
Saint Germain grimaces, then offers the meal to me. As I reach out to take the bread, I hesitate. This...
大丈夫です。前のような薬は入っていません。私が言っても信用できないかもしれませんが。
I think at this point he would prefer you to not trust him than to say I trust you. You'd made him very uncomfortable when you said that before. No, I'll take it. It's useless to be suspicious of everything now. If he wanted to, he can do anything to me without bothering to mix anything into my food. I take a sip of the soup and sigh a little in pleasure at how good it tastes. It's so good, it's just as good as Impy's cooking.
ありがとうございます。 それは最大の賛辞ですね。
Saint Germain smiles happily, then takes a good look at me as I smack my lips.
やはり不思議ですね。
What is?
いいえ、ずいぶん落ち着いているなと。恐怖に震えるか抵抗するか、てっきりどちらかだと予想していたのですが。
It's because it's you. It's not some stranger kidnapping her wanting to kill her. It is weird that he's keeping his eyes open all the time during his route. Like, why couldn't you do this in your normal route? Does it make you look more evil? It probably makes you look more evil. His closed eyes just makes him look happy and carefree. Saint Germain is right to be puzzled. Even I myself find it strange at how peaceful I feel. I don't know. Maybe too many crazy things have happened and my mind is numb to it. This almost feels unreal, like I'm in a dream.
なるほど。それはむしろいいことかもしれません。現実の残酷さを感じずに済みますから。願わくばそのまま夢を見ていてください。明日の深夜にはその夢も覚めてしまいますけどね。
Because I'll be murdered. Saint Germain nods solemnly in response. Then he takes another good look at me.
それが分かっているのになぜ抵抗しないのです？
I give it a great deal of thought before I answer him quietly. Aren't you a master swordsman, respected by even Lupin and the others? If I did resist, I don't think I'd be able to get very far.
では抵抗を諦めておとなしく震えて待つと。
No, strangely enough, I'm not afraid either. I smile at him. It's an undeniable fact that Saint Germain tried to kill me, but I can't bring myself to think that all the kindness he has shown me until last night had been a lie. Instead of wasting my time cowering, I want to believe in you until the very last moment when you take my life. Pointless resistance comes from cowardice. The most important thing is to wait for an opportunity. Lupin said that. He loses his smile. That's right. I can save that trembling in fear until all hope has been extinguished. I say this and smile at him, and the Count slightly shakes his head.
あなたは私が考えているよりずっと強いのですね。
She looks cute over there with her little smile. She's satisfied with her Lupin training. If I'm strong, it's only because Lupin and the others trained me to be that way. It's because everyone has taught me so much.
なのに私はあなたから奪うだけか。
His quiet muttering carries a note of scorn for himself.
言っても意味のないことですが、できれば私もルパンのような立場であなたに会いたかった。あなたの救いになれるような存在になりたかった。
It's not too late to change your ways. Saint Germain? He stares intently at me for a moment, then slightly turns on his heels.
夕暮れにまた来ます。夕食もこちらで用意しておきますから。
No, I don't need anything else to eat.
そうですか。好みのものがないというならできる限り用意しますが。
No, that's not it. I don't actually have to eat to survive. I don't need to go through most of the habits people have. I mean, I never really ate much before I met you all. It's probably because I'm not human.
しかし屋敷ではいつも皆と食事をしていたと思いますが。
That's because I enjoy sharing meals with everyone else.
なるほど。確かにあの時と比べてこの状況では食事を楽しむ余裕などありませんか。
How did it all come to this? It has only been a few days since we last gathered around the table to eat, laughing. I really enjoyed the time that I've spent with everyone, with you. sharing meals with you and spending time with you, especially having tea. Even just the short conversations we'd have each day brought me happiness. But now, I lay down at the floor thinking back on those days and feeling like it was such a long time ago. The fact that this situation is neither a dream nor a joke is gradually dawning on me. Saint Germain, can we and Lupin and everyone else truly never go back to those days again? It's still not too late to say that this was all some sort of bad dream and that I can forget about everything that happened. I look up, grasping at this ray of hope, but all I see is Saint Germain's sad smile.
また夕食時に食事を持ってきます。
She just told me no. Saint Germain.
こんなことを言う資格は私にはないのでしょうが、私もあなたと過ごす時間を特別なものと感じていましたよ。皆さんやあなたと過ごす少々危険だけれど賑やかな日々。
He seems like he's longing for a life that he's never allowed to have. It's sad. You make me sad, Saint Germain.
ずっとこんな日が続けばいいと願っていたことは嘘ではありません。
He turns and leaves the room without another word. I sigh to myself, then take another bite of the soup. It's gone completely cold by now. At dusk. Here you go. Just like at lunch, Saint Germain quietly enters the room pushing a silver cart. The red light of the setting sun is shining on him. His long shadow extends from the floor to the wall. It almost looks like a separate living entity.
夕食をお持ちしました。
Thank you, Saint Germain.
いいえ、これはただ口実を作っているだけですから。
He wants to talk to you a little bit longer before you die. Excuse?
ええ、私はこうすることで今のあなたと言葉を交わすきっかけが欲しかっただけ。
Even though some people may not like him, I really like him. Yeah, he's trying to kill her, which makes, people not like him, but he's sad while he does it. He's bringing her food just so he can talk to her a little bit longer.
最後にもう少しあなたと話したいというそんな未練にしがみついているだけです。
I think it's supposed to say if you want to, we can continue to.
できません。
No. He takes on a sharper tone, piercing me through the heart. Oh, really?
それはできないんです。
I want to ask him why this stopped myself. He probably wouldn't answer me anyway. Saint Germain. I slowly enjoy the meal that the Count offers me and look at him. Saint Germain himself doesn't eat anything. He just observes me intently. That would make me feel weird. Did someone order you to kill me? Bingo! Look at that face. It seemed that this was an unexpected question.
なぜそう思うのですか？
I've been thinking since about noon about everything you said to me. You don't seem to be acting under your own will right now. It looks to me like you're pushing back your emotions in order to carry out some sort of mission. He doesn't reply. After a moment, he speaks quietly.
それは誤解ですよ。私は私自身の意志であなたを殺すんです。あなたを殺す罪は私が背負うべきものなのですから。
He averts his eyes and turns his face down. There is a trace of a dark shadow over his usual smile. Is that true?
ええ、
It is true that he's doing this of his own volition, but if he said no, someone else would do it instead. And I think he said yes because he wants to make it as painless as possible for her. Then why do you look so sad?
悲しい顔？あなたにはそう見えるのですか？
You should keep your eyes open most of the time. I really like your eyes. Yes, you do, and I'm certain that I'm right about it. Because we're friends. There is no way I could mistake that expression on the face of someone I consider dear to me. He's more than a friend. There's a formless emotion lying within me that goes beyond friendship.
そうですか。もしあなたが私が悲しそうに見えるのなら
Him trying to take your life has made you fall in love with him. You know, this kind of reminds me of in Baldur's Gate, where when you get to Act 2, if you have Gale with you and you have a relationship like high enough with him, like after your very first fight, he just comes out in the middle of the forest and is like, I'm attracted to you. If we were under different circumstances, I'd want to do other things. It's weird how a brush with death changes your perspective. Or something like that. It was really bizarre and just out from nowhere. I was like, where did that come from? But whatever. The setting sun causes the shadow to cross his face. The shadow makes him look sinister.
私はきっとそれだけあなたと過ごした日々を愛しているのでしょう。
Aww. See, this is funny because this goes back to where he's talking to her in the garden where he's like, I don't know how I feel. I think I like you guys. I think.
その日々を惜しんでいる分だけためらいが生まれているのかもしれない。
Germain narrows his eyes even more, then slowly smiles.
いいえ、あなたと過ごした日々なんて回りくどい言い方は卑怯ですね。私はきっとあなたを愛しているのでしょう。
Just probably. She's like, what? The smile he wears now is different from his usual smile, reflecting true kindness. I don't know if he's saying he loves me in a romantic sense. Perhaps he means that he has a deep affection for me as a friend who has adventured alongside him, but still, I can't keep my cheeks from reddening.
あなたとの日々は私に生きていた頃のことを思い出させてくれるんです。
Oh, is this where you're going to come out and say this? When you were still alive. When you were still alive? What do you mean? You sound like you're saying that you aren't alive right now. Look at that face, he just stares at her.
いらぬことを話しすぎましたね。混乱させるつもりはなかったのですが。
He's like, I gotta go. No, come back, Saint Germain. He sighs slightly then stands.
私はこれで失礼します。また朝に食事を持ってきますので。
In the morning. This is the first day, right? So she has until midnight tomorrow. Okay.
明日が最後の一日となります。悔いのないよう祈りを捧げるのもいいでしょう。
You're not going to kill her. It's all going to change. What should I pray to?
あなたの信じる何かに。
She's going to pray that she can stay with you forever. Those are Saint Germain's last words as he turns to leave, bathed in the light of the setting sun. As he leaves, I call out to him, forcing out the words. I have many regrets. You haven't even told me why I'm going to be killed.
それは
Why are you going to kill me? Am I going to die without knowing that? I ask him the same question that I asked before. I assume that I am not going to get a reply. Saint Germain stops, then turns around and looks at me.
あなたが安らかに死ねる道がきっとこれ以外にはないからです。
What does that mean?
あなたに死がもたらされるならそれは他の者の手であってはならない。せめて私の手で。
Okay, so yeah, I was right. If he doesn't kill her, someone else will. Someone else in his Apostles of Idea, because she is facing the monster known as Fate in the last episode. So someone wants her dead, and if he doesn't do it, someone else will. And he wants to, because he loves her, he wants to make it painless and easy on her.
それはあなたの救いであり、あなたの命を奪う私への罰でもあります。
Is this going to be some kind of atonement for him? He said he committed a crime that he never wanted to repeat. I laid down and clenched my hands into fists. From the day we met, I've always thought that you were a mysterious person. You hide your true feelings and you have secrets, but you've been a kind and reliable friend. That's why I wanted to know more about you. I wanted to be closer to you. That's what I wanted, but my voice begins to tremble. I feel myself growing hot and the words rush out of me. Now, the more I talk to you, the less I understand about you. You must have some reason for why you're doing this to me. I want to believe you. I want you to make me believe you.
あなたが私を理解する必要などありません。
What? I look up at this sudden interruption.
あなたは目の前の事実だけを見て、ただ私を憎めばいい。
I feel like the light's gone out of his eyes. That's because hating you would make it easy on you. And people in Saint Germain's predicament always wants the easy way out for them during this too. Hating you would make it easy for him. Loving you, on the other hand, and trusting you would make it very difficult on you emotionally.
私を殺したいほど憎めばいい。
She doesn't hate you? Oh. Chapter 10. Is that the only way? So, there isn't a bad end for can't. So we're gonna say I can't first. I shake my head. I can't do that.
なぜですか？あなたを殺そうとしているのです。恨むには十分だと思いますが。
It might be, but after spending time with you and the others, I've been gifted with a number of different emotions. I'm overflowing with so many that there is no room inside me for hate. I place my hands over my chest with a faint smile. Even when you told me about my past, you never stopped treating me the same way. Even when you found out that I was in that underground laboratory, you never looked at me any differently. That's why I'm not going to change how I see you. I can't hate you. I know, as a homunculus, I probably don't have the right to feel such things inside me, but I finally realized I think I just want to love you from the bottom of my heart.
ダメです。カルディアさん。そんなことを考えては。
I tell Saint Germain exactly how I feel, and I see a hint of emotion flicker on his mask-like expression. He seems pained and has difficulty choosing his next words.
なぜならあなたの私に寄せてくれたその気持ちは必ず裏切られるのですから。
So this right here is like a prelude into like his whole route. You can hear his trembling voice, which is why this route is the route that made me cry because it's just heartbreaking for him to have to go against what he is told to do because he just wants to protect her. I'm not ready for it. I don't want to cry again. Is that the only way? What did she say before that? His expression is motionless as he looks me directly in the eyes. Is that the only way? If I hate you for trying to kill me, will this pain disappear? He has been perfectly frank about his intent to kill me. It's obvious that I should be hating him, but part of me isn't able to accept that. Saint Germain speaks in a definitive tone, completely shutting out my doubts.
ええ。存分に恨んでください。私を呪ってください。私はあなたに対してそれだけの罪を働くのです。そうしてくれた方が私は心が休まりますから。
I knew it. He's trying to take the easy way out. It'll be easier on me if you hate me. Because then I don't have to feel bad about killing you. It's not gonna work. Saint Germain's one-sided argument makes my heart ache. Why is this happening? I want to shout at him, asking him why he must kill me, but I also know that doing so won't solve anything.
また明日の朝にお会いしましょう。
With this, Saint Germain leaves the room. Midnight. I lay on the bed thinking about everything that's happened. There is only one full day left until Saint Germain has declared that he would kill me. When that time comes, I know that he'll make sure to kill me even though he may hesitate. Saint Germain says he has a reason to kill me. I still don't know what it is. But he is sticking to his reason and definitely intends to kill me. I don't want to die. The words that spill from me now never would have occurred to me back when I was shut up in my mansion. Meeting Lupin and seeing and walking in the outside world, MP, Victor, and Van Helsing, and the time spent with Saint Germain. Even though my life may only be artificial, perhaps all these experiences have given me a desire to continue living. I don't want to die. For Saint Germain's sake. Obviously, I don't want to die for my own sake as well. But more than that, I feel that Saint Germain would be left with lasting emotional trauma if he was forced to kill me. I bite my lip. I wonder if I can escape from here. It doesn't seem like Saint Germain will listen to anything I have to say at this point. Maybe Lupin and the others can get through to him. I'll escape from this place and meet up with them all. If I face Saint Germain with all the friends that he has been spending time with, then perhaps... Alright. I recall Saint Germain's sad expression as I get out of bed. First I check the room for any possible means to escape. Just as he said, my poison doesn't seem to have any effect on the locked doors or the tightly shut windows. I tried the floors and the walls as well, but the poison has no effect on any surface that could lead out of this room. He said that he used Victor's formula, but is it really possible to poison-proof this much space alone in such short time? If the poison doesn't work, then... I pick up a chair and slam it against the window. Thud. It's a clean hit, but the window doesn't break at all. I wonder what material it's made from. It looks so fragile, but it doesn't budge. After that, I continue trying different ways to escape from the room, being extremely thorough to check any crevice. But all my time and effort are spent in vain, and the sky is beginning to turn white when I give up. She's panting now. My breathing is uneven. I'm pretty tired after my intense search. The stress from knowing that a friend is intending to kill me is probably a big factor in my fatigue as well. I lay on the bed to take a short break. I grow impatient, feeling that I need to do something about the situation. But instead, the tiredness overtakes me and I fall into a deep sleep. She exhausted herself, poor thing. Oh, is she going to have a dream? I awake to the sudden sensation of the bedsheets being flung off of me. What? I open my eyes in surprise and see Saint Germain's face right in front of me. He's looming over me. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I didn't, I skipped it too quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
目を覚ましてしまいましたか。おはようございます。
You sound so creepy when you say that. Stop it. He's going to kill me. I break out in goosebumps all over my body, and whatever drowsiness I still have is blown away instantly. He said midnight, though, not morning. I instinctively thrust my arms forward, trying to throw him aside. But he grabs my hand and forces me to stand up. Before I know it, he's holding both my wrists in one hand and is covering my mouth with the other. Oh no. Just like when he had been strangling me, his hand seems unaffected by my poison where it touches my skin.
ああ。あなたの毒は残念ながら私には効きませんよ。
Did you poison-proof your gloves too?
この手袋もあなたの服と同様に防毒液を染み込ませていますからね。
How convenient. Where'd you get so much drug repellent? Like, this seems like excessive. He shrugs and looks me in the eyes. There should be one more day before the time Saint Germain specified that I would die, so what's going on? It's because you said that you don't want to hate him. Maybe he's trying to make you hate him. I glare at the Count in protest. For some reason, I sense a hit of desperation in his expression.
そんな顔をしないでください。急で申し訳ありませんが、少し事情が変わったんです。
Oh, are you being contacted by your employer, I guess? He looks really good up close, though.
少なくとも今は、昨夜のように暴れられては困るのですよ。
He knows about last night. That must mean he heard me making noise in the room as I was attempting to escape. Before I can figure out my next move, he's gonna knock you out. He pushes me against one of the bedposts with overpowering strength. And then he quickly ties me to it. Oh my goodness.
当然、この縄にも防毒が施されています。これでもう、あなたは逃げ出せません。
His face is right in front of mine. I know it's gorgeous, isn't it? His perfume with an almost sweet scent tickles my nose. I twist my body trying to free myself from the rope, but the more I struggle, the tighter the rope digs into me.
事情があるんです。お願いですから、静かにしていてください。
I have a feeling that he's doing this to protect her, but I don't remember what the reason would have been.
あなたの生は私のもの。あなたの死は私が導くもの。あなたは私のものです。他の誰にも渡しません。
Now you sound like Giordo.
そう。たとえ運命の正しき流れがあなたを欲していたとしても、あなたは私が殺しましょう。それがあなたの救いであり、私への罰でもあるのですから。
This is the second time I've heard these words. He's still smiling as usual, and yet at the same time it almost looks like he's crying behind that smile.
本当はここまでする必要はないのかもしれませんが、もしあれに見つかった時にきちんと捉えていると言い訳程度にはなるかもしれませんから。
Who's he? I can only think of two male characters that he would be referring to. And one of them he says is dead. Saint Germain carefully steps away. He removes his hand from over my mouth, and I'm finally able to draw a deep breath. We lock eyes. I'm not really sure what the point of this sudden activity is, but there's no point in hiding anything now that he knows I was trying to get out last night. Saint Germain, there's one last thing I want to say. I fully intend to escape tonight before midnight.
なぜそれを私に？わざわざ警戒してくれと言っているようなものですよ。
I didn't want to say nothing. I feel like that would be betraying you. Oh. I really feel like something is wrong with me too, talking like this when so much is on the line. But these words are coming from my heart. Just laughing.
あなたは本当に正直な人だ。私の方はずっとあなたを騙していたのに、騙すのが嫌だなどと。
I stare at the Count, who wears a smile of self-mockery. Even if I am able to somehow escape, I don't know if I'll ever see Saint Germain again. That's why I want to leave him with some parting words. Whether or not I'm able to escape, there is one more thing I want to tell you. Goodbye, Saint Germain. No matter what happens, I'm still glad you came into my life. If I hadn't met you, I don't think I would have the will to live that I do now. Saint Germain is silent for a long time. Oh, he said it's because of him that you have a will to live. How would that make you feel if you're trying to kill her? He stares at me, then opens his mouth to say something, but after a moment he shuts it without a word. He continues looking at me as if making an effort to break through his hesitation.
さよなら、カルディアさん。
Oh, he said the ultimate goodbye phrase. With the intent of never seeing you again. He says only this and leaves the room. His soft voice seems to linger in the air behind him after he's gone. As soon as I'm alone again, so many words begin flooding into my dazed mind. Why did he suddenly decide to tie me up like this when he said there was still time? Saint Germain said that the situation had changed. If we're now in a situation where my moving about would cause trouble for him, I might be able to make this work in my favor. I say this out loud, making myself believe in every word. Stay calm. Don't panic. The most important time to be calm is when you're in trouble. That was something Lupin had taught me. I have to understand the situation I'm in and understand my options and do my best to catch the enemy off guard. Those are all the skills necessary to stay alive. Saint Germain knew everything there was to know about my poison and thus fully prepared to deal with it. But there's something he hasn't realized. I learned how to be a thief from the great Lupin. He made sure to teach me how to free myself from a rope, too. When I was being tied, I twisted my wrist to create a gap, so now I can keep twisting my wrist to widen the gap. That's really smart. It's a very small thing, but according to Lupin, at times it's the little things that dictate the tides of battle. What is Saint Germain thinking? Why is he trying to kill me? You keep asking yourself this, but there's not going to be an answer for you. I'm going to hold off thinking about these things. Right now, the most important thing is to get out of here alive. I work on widening the small gap in the rope, and time flies by. The sunlight entering the room pans across the floor and then lengthens as the sun begins to go down. Even then, the rope isn't loose enough for my hand to pass through it. Then, a while after the sun has set, my wrists are finally free from the rope. Did he not feed you this whole time? I would have thought he would have come in with food and saw what you're doing. Yes. I whisper my excitement, then untie the rest of the knots and relax slightly. Sigh. I've regained the freedom to move my body. Now I have bigger problems to tackle. There's no clock in the room, so I can't tell what time it is. I was so engrossed when freeing myself from the rope that I have no idea how long it's been since the sun went down. When will Saint Germain finish preparing the poison and return to this room? Will it be a few hours, or is he on his way here even now as I stand here? I try to block out any fear and unease, and once I have finished preparing for my escape, I turn to the keyhole on the door. This was something I had been thinking about before untying myself. My poison won't work on this door. I'm not strong enough to break it down. All that remains, then, is the lockpicking skills that Lupin taught me. I don't have any tools on hand, though. Well, I can just make something. I take off my gloves and set my sights on a handle sticking out of the nearby shelf. The handle is metal. I wonder if I can fashion some kind of wire out of it. An ordinary person wouldn't be able to do that, but I can. I gently touch the handle with my bare hands. It seems the handle hasn't been protected from my poison, as it begins to melt and smoke the moment I touch it. I can use this. I feel the metal becoming warmer, and I begin to create a thin metal stick from it, like twisting a piece of thread. It doesn't look that great, but it should do the trick. My breathing naturally becomes shallower as I stick the two wires into the keyhole. I lose track of how much time it takes. I feel a click. I put my hand against the door and give it a gentle push. The door, which hadn't budged at all until this point, opens with a tiny creak. Time to leave. I look around cautiously and step out into the hall. It feels like ages since I was last outside this room. The sudden freedom has given me a sense of liberation, but I'm also terrified that it could be taken away from me at any moment. I juggle these emotions as I reach out to the window in the hallway. It doesn't melt. The whole room is the whole house poison-proofed. Oh my goodness. He even poison-proofed outside the room too. Maybe he just gave you an anti-poison. Then the only other way out is the door that leads outside. If this mansion has the same floor plan as the other one, then I know where the back door should be. But it may not be an exact replica, so the only exit I know for certain is the door in the main hall. I need to hurry. He says it's exactly the same. I run, trying to contain my panic, and eventually arrive at the main hall. Only one set of doors separates me from the outside world. I jump at the door and turn the knob. It's locked. A cold sweat trickles down my back as I realize that the door must be locked from the inside and shows no sign of opening from the inside. Aren't you on the inside? Where are you at? I don't understand. This hall is vast and can be seen from anywhere. It's only a matter of time before I'm caught. The poison probably won't work, but... I take my gloves off the door and bring my finger close to the keyhole. No. A slight bit of smoke begins to rise from the knob. It's working. There seems to be some sort of poison proofing here as well, as the melting is much slower than its usual effect. Why just here? Could he have known that I would attempt to escape and made it so that the poison would only have a slight effect? Let's see. Chapter 10, keep using the poison is the bad end, so we're going to try picking the lock, because obviously if you keep using the poison, you're going to get captured. So, we'll make a save file. And we're going to try lockpicking. Stay calm, stay calm. The poison will definitely break the lock, but right now I'm racing against time and the poison will just take too long. And I've successfully picked one lock in the mansion already. If this door uses the same style of lock, then I might have an advantage since I already have experience with it. If that's the case. I use the wires from before to pick at the lock. I tell myself to remain calm over and over again, trying my best to keep my hands from shaking. Hurry, hurry, hurry. This is taking longer than expected. I try to control my emotions as best I can, not knowing when Saint Germain will appear. Then finally I hear the sound I've been waiting to hear. Yes. I can't help but let out a small cry of relief at the same moment.
Cardia さん。バカな。どうやって
He sounds panicked. I hear Saint Germain's voice from behind. I resist the urge to turn around. Run! I open the doors and jump outside, then slam them behind me and start running. This is one of the escape techniques Lupin taught me. It's so he won't be able to tell which way I run. Once I'm in the forest, I deliberately go off the path and run into the thicket. It would be foolish of me to run along the beaten path. Saint Germain is my only pursuer. He doesn't have any hunting dogs that can track my scent. If I run into the brush, it'll be nearly impossible to spot me in the night forest. Night forest? Okay, yeah. Not even Saint Germain will be able to follow me. That's what you think, but we'll see. I'll be fine now. Just fine. The terror of death finally begins to set in, gradually taking over my body. Poor girl. My anxiety and fear are keeping me moving, and I continue to run without stopping. After a while, I suddenly enter an open area. I've seen this place before, the streets we traveled before entering the forest. It took you a whole day to get there, so how long has it been? It's got to be at least hours. You can't just get there soon. Huh? The path we took to the mansion made it seem like the forest was much deeper and further from the city. I haven't even been running for 10 minutes. I'm confused by the fact that I'm out of the forest much sooner than I expected. Maybe that forest had a strange power. Or maybe Saint Germain had been circling the forest on our way here to throw off my sense of direction and distance, probably. Either way, there's no way for me to know, and I don't intend on pursuing the matter any further, so... Walking a whole day seems much more viable when he's moody to change mansions, if the mansion is only like a 25-minute walk. I look back into the forest. For some reason, the sad look on Saint Germain's face crosses my mind. Saint Germain, we'll meet again. Yes, you will. This is his route after all. I hesitate, still moving forward, then break back into a run. I'm gonna get the others to help you now. After running for a while, I finally start to see the Count's original mansion that we had all been staying at. Are you sure, though? I guess it's not in the forest, but still, are you sure? Is this the real one? I finally made it this far. I can see everyone else soon. As I think this, my lips naturally lift into a smile. The first thing I'll do when I see them all is apologize for worrying them, then tell them about Saint Germain. Right as I'm thinking this, Saint Germain, I suddenly get the feeling that I'm being watched and stop moving. Whoa. Something huge cuts through the air, barely missing me. With a huge rumble, it smashes into the ground. I have an idea of who it could be, but we'll see. See if I'm right. I'm thrown back by the blast of wind and stone. God. I cry out from the pain that hits my entire body. Oh, what pain? What hit you? I gulp in a breath, then shakily stand up, cringing against the pain. What? I squint my eyes to get a better look into the cloud of dust. Who is it? Who is it? Ah, I knew it was one of them. I thought it would be the man that Saint Germain was thinking of, though. But look, it's the armor person that she saw in the mansion on like the very first chapter. The one that Saint Germain was like, I have no residence like that. Who could that be? A gentle breeze blows the dust aside, and my assailant is revealed. A huge figure stands there. It's a white knight covered head to toe in a suit of armor. The huge sword protrudes from the ground. The sheer size of the figure and its sword gives me the sense of overwhelming awe. Is this Twilight? No, it can't be. My judgment is groundless, but the knight in front of me possesses a formidable air completely apart from that of Twilight. The figure stands with great dignity amidst the dust and the moonlight, and it has such Herculean strength that it could throw this giant blade with the strength to cut a gouge out of the ground. If whoever was wearing that suit of armor were to glare at me from beneath the helm, I would be petrified by fright, unable to move. So I did get a CG, so maybe I could use that CG instead of reusing one of Saint Germain's. That's right. I've seen the suit of armor before. The first night I stayed at the mansion. She remembers. I saw that huge figure walking in the hall. I hadn't been seeing things. When I asked Saint Germain about it, he said that he had no idea what it could be. But what if he was lying to hide the identity of this attacker? Exactly. Are you working with Saint Germain? Army figure responds with silence. She's going to attack you. It easily lifts the sword from the ground and slowly takes a combat stance towards me. This person is trying to kill me. I don't understand why. But I need to run, probably for the same reason Saint Germain is. By pure instinct, my fear pushes me to move, and I turn around and try to make a run for it. Is Saint Germain going to protect you? My assailant takes a great leap and lands directly in my path. It spins around to face me, still sliding along the ground with the momentum from the jump, and drops into a crouch. The friction between the armor and the gravel on the ground creates sparks. What? It can't be possible to move like that wearing all that armor. This figure in front of me is no ordinary person no matter how I look at it. The assailant lifts the giant blade once more and points it towards me. There's no place to run. That's all I can think. Oh. So Van Helsing's going to come to your rescue. A gunshot rings out of the darkness of the forest, striking a spark from the armor. The figure staggers slightly, then turns to look at the bushes in the forest. There stands.
ほう。岩塩弾では効果がないか。随分と硬い鎧を着込んだものだ。
Yay, we don't have to spend like a whole chapter inside of a room. I see Van Helsing quickly load his shotgun with a different type of ammunition and a wide-eyed Victor standing nearby. Van Helsing, Victor! I was hoping Saint Germain would rescue her. There could be a confrontation. Van Helsing ignores me, then aims his other gun at the knight and fires. But the assailant raises its sword, and I see several sparks leap from the blade.
銃弾を弾く
You're
か
ridiculous.
非常識なやつだ。今のは実弾だったのだがな。
That's probably why she's deflecting it, because they're lethal. She knows it.
カルディア怪我はない
I hear someone call out to me and turn towards the voice to see Victor running towards me.
みんなずっと君を探してたんだたまたま早く戻ってきてよかった
Aw, poor Victor. He's so worried about her. Thank you.
あの甲冑の人物は
She doesn't know. I don't know either. I was just suddenly attacked. I watched Van Helsing and the attacker intently as they slowly close in on each other. Could use this as a CG too. Be more interesting, but I don't know. I like the full screen CGs. They're really pretty. They put more effort into it.
一つ尋ねる。お前、何者だ
Who are you? The assailant doesn't respond. It simply stands ready to strike.
無駄口もなしか。どうやら腕の立つ暗殺者のようだ。
Talking gives too much away. Van Helsing's lips curl into a smile as if he is enjoying this.
暗殺者にしては少々派手すぎるがな。
I know an assassin wouldn't go around wearing like full plate armor. Flames light up the darkness of the night. Flames? Is that what they said? Flames? Your gunfire is causing flames. Those are the explosive shells that Van Helsing has used in several battles, so that makes more sense, I guess. Intense smoke rises from the impact, completely covering the armored knight.
やったの
いや、まだだ。
Van Helsing replies tersely as he reloads his guns. And just as Van Helsing said, when the wind blows the smoke away, the armored figure is standing there just as it had been before.
無傷とはな。戦法を切り替えるしかないか。
You've met a formidable foe.
フラン、お前はそいつを連れて来る途中に指示したポイントで待て。
わかった
But Van Helsing,
戦闘では僕たちがここにいても彼の足を引っ張るだけだ彼のためにも逃げた方がいい
I turn back and look at Van Helsing.
多少時間を稼いだらすぐに後を追う。行け
I turn away from him and begin to run with Victor tugging at my arm. We run away from the mansion and into the forest. Oh, we don't get to know who it is yet. Well, fine. After running for a while, Victor stops out of breath.
待ってカルディアここで待とう
Poor Victor. Don't worry, I can't run either.
ここがバンの指示したポイントだから
Alright, but do you think Van Helsing is going to be safe?
大丈夫だよ彼は強い君だって彼の戦いぶりは散々見てきたじゃないか
He has hit his strength. If anyone can take him on, then Van Helsing can. He's the strongest of all of you. I nod silently at Victor's words. Yes, Van Helsing is definitely strong, but the armored attacker seems so abnormally powerful. He wasn't even fazed by the onslaught of those exploding shells. How will Van Helsing be able to fight when his best weapon, his guns, won't work against it? We wait restlessly for a while. Then we hear someone approaching through the underbrush. It's Van Helsing. What'd you do to
待
it?
たせたな。
Did you beat it? Van Helsing, I'm so glad you're all right. My relief is short-lived. I see a trail of blood running down his leg and I gasp, oh no. Van Helsing, that...
まあ、不覚を取った。だが、追撃の心配もあるまい。なんとか逃げ切ったからな。
Oh, Van Helsing was forced to run.
ひどくやられたね
Victor looks at Van Helsing's wound and gives a quick temporary treatment. I'm sorry, this is my fault.
まったくだ。一体どこに行っていたんだ
You better be sorry. That's...
詳しい話はまた後にしよう。あの襲撃者が屋敷の前で襲ってきたんだ。屋敷の場所を知っていたと思っていい。バンの傷も詳しく見たいし、場所を変えてまずは一息つかないと。カルディア、君も顔色が悪い。とにかく移動を優先しよう。
I mean, Sage Germain has a mansion out for she could go stay at. We both nod at Victor's suggestion. Here, let's go back to St. Germain's other mansion. We then begin to look for lodging, renting some rooms in the middle-class area of London. It looks like Sholmes' estate. Victor and Van Helsing share a room, so I am alone in mine. Where's Lupin and Impy? Don't you guys have cell phones? I exhale a little. I've been running nonstop tonight. My body is showing signs of fatigue. I just want to fall asleep without thinking about anything. But there's so much I need to tell everyone. I'll first go to Victor Van Helsing's room. As I'm thinking this, I hear a knock at my door. For a split second, the image of Saint Germain carrying meals to me crosses my mind. Oh man, that would terrify me. I know if you think that all this has been a dream, he's just going to walk in with a meal ready to poison you. I shake my head, knowing that that would be impossible, and open the door. There stands Victor.
ああ、よかった。まだ起きてたんだね。
Yes, what is it, Victor?
うん。いろいろ話したいこともあるし、君を安心させたいと思ってさ。入ってもいいかな。
I let Victor into the room, and after offering him a chair, I sit on the bed.
じゃあまず先にこっちの報告から。
Van Helsing's good.
バンの怪我についてなんだけど、見た目ほどはひどくないよ。怪我を負った足もすぐ動かせると思う。
I see. I'm glad. A sigh of relief, and Victor smiled slightly before his expression turned serious.
君と伯爵がいなくなってから僕たちはずっとその行方を探していた。
Yeah, about that. We got some bad news.
本当はこんな時のためにインピーがホロロギウムの探査装置を作ってたんだけどね。それが何者かに壊されていて、仕方なく自分たちの足で走り回ったというわけ。
Oh, she's sad. She doesn't know what to say. Saint Germain is the one who sabotaged Impy's device. I remember him saying so, and I lower my head. Thank you for looking for me, and I'm so sorry for making you worry.
うん、いいんだ。何か事情があったようだし。
Oh, is she going to keep it a secret? Is she going to protect him? That's so adorable. Or is she? I try to explain. As I try to explain myself, he puts his index finger up against my lips.
詳しい話は後でみんなが揃ってから聞くよ。この宿はもしもの時にってルパンが指定した集合場所だからね。
How are you able to touch her lips? Do you have poison-proof gloves too? I mean, if you have this poison-proof substance, you should just give it to her so you don't have to poison-proof everything else.
みんなももうじき集まってくるはずだよ。だから今は安心して休んでいいんだ。
Thank you, Victor. The kindness in Victor's voice permeates my entire body. I would feel kind of sad being with them and knowing that you can't be with them and Saint Germain at the same time. Once Victor leaves, I lay down alone on my bed. I lay on my back so that my poison doesn't melt the blankets and let my mind drift. Why did Saint Germain try to kill me? I mean, you keep asking yourself this. You're not going to get an answer. Why was that assailant in the armor after me? There you go, that's a better question. It's a new question, at least. Right before I fall asleep, the last thing I see in my mind is Saint Germain's sad smile. Saint Germain, why? Aww, I'm sorry, Cardia. As soon as I whisper this, I fall into the depths of a deep, deep sleep. Sounds like that's the end. Alright, so we got happy music, so obviously the next episode starts happy, but we did spend most of the chapter in a room, but that's fine because we learned a lot about Saint Germain's motives. We learned that even though he didn't tell us, just the look on his face tells us that he's not doing this of his own volition. He's doing it because someone else will do it if he doesn't, and he doesn't want that. If she has to go, he wants it to be as painless as possible, even though he doesn't want to kill her. See, we're in chapter 11, 11, 12, and 13, so we have 3 chapters left, so things should really start picking up here quick. So there's actually new people that you meet in this route that are not in the other routes. Actually, they're in Lupin's route, so at least a couple are. Maybe just one is, I think. But yeah, we're going to start meeting some new people, so I am excited to go back down this route. But if you guys did enjoy, drop a thumbs up down below and or subscribe for the rest of Saint Germain, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.